Well, alright everybody, we have both an iPhone 16 base model and then an iPhone 16 Pro Max in the black colorway for the 16 Pro Max, and then in that ultramarine color, which everybody seems to be loving right here. So in this video, what I want to do is just quickly unbox them, kind of see what they look like, see the differences, and also really compare the 6.1 inch size of the regular 16 to that 6.9 inch screen on the 16 Pro Max, which is now the biggest iPhone screen we've ever had. And we're pretty much at that phablet territory, and I want to see how they feel in the hand and things like that. So let's open both of these up. Full transparency, I already did open up the ultramarine, just put it back in there, but the Pro Max is still fully sealed. Let's open them up. So let's start off with the ultramarine one, since I said it's already kind of open. But you can see on the back of it, it says everything that you need it to say, right? iPhone 16, ultramarine, this is the 128 gig version. And we're going to be talking mostly about all the hardware differences that come with these phones because, again, from a software standpoint, there's still a decent amount of stuff missing with Apple Intelligence not coming for a while, but this is the brand new color. I think this actually looks great, and I'm so happy that Apple finally decided to give the iPhones actual color. But let's put this off to the side for a second and see what's in the box because the packaging is a little bit different this year. Obviously, last year, Apple omitted all the Apple stickers, so unfortunately, gone are the times that we get free stickers, but you do get a nice braided USB-C to USB-C cable, which is nice, so very high quality, and it's also in this kind of pill-shaped format. And then if you're outside of the US, you will get a little SIM ejector tool in here, but since we're in the US, we're only dealing with eSIM nowadays. And then here you have your paperwork, again in the pill shape, and that's all that you get in the box, which is kind of unheard of. I remember that back in the day when you used to get headphones, and a stand, and a dock, and a charger, and the brick. But hey, with Apple's environmental goals, this is where we're at right now. But this is that ultramarine color. I love the blue colorway. Like I said, it's a little bit more saturated, or a lot more saturated than what we're used to with the other pastel-y colors that we've had in years past. The camera bump is actually bigger than I anticipated, but in a good way. You have that vertical orientation, which is different from last year, going back to that iPhone 10 series from back in the day. And then of course, USB-C on the bottom. Let's take this guy off right now, and we'll turn this on. And of course the new addition is we do have that new capture button or the camera control button, and then for the first time with the iPhone 16 lineup we do have the action button, which was introduced last year in the Pro model. So let's put this off to the side and unbox the new 16 Pro Max, which is going to be my main iPhone. So here we have it everybody, the 16 Pro Max. I'm excited to see the 6.9 inches and how that ends up turning out. But this is the 256 gig variant, and I got in the space black version for the first time. I went with the black titanium. Last year I went with the natural titanium on the 15. Year before that I think I went with the white version with the 14 Pro Max, but let's open this bad boy up. You gotta love how satisfying unboxing Apple products is. Apple really has this down to a science. Open it up. And here we have the first look at this black titanium colorway. I wanted to go with this look because again, I have the new Ultra 2 in the black colorway. I have the space black version of the M4 iPad Pro, so I wanted to kind of keep the same form factor and the same color across all of my devices for the first time in a long time. Because pretty much up until the iPhone 10, I rocked with the same black color or the dark color variant of all the Pro Max phones or the highest end ones, and then started to change it up to make them feel new because, again, year to year, these aren't changing that much. But again, you get the same thing in the packaging, you get the cable, the paperwork in that pill-shaped format, and then you would get a SIM ejector tool like I mentioned earlier in the international versions of these phones. Basically, if you're not in the US, then you'll get a SIM card ejector tool. But here we have both the phones. Of course, one of them is going to be smaller than the other one, but you can see that from the size difference, it doesn't feel that much bigger, if at all, compared to my 15 Pro Max, and I'm definitely going to have a video comparing the 16 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max, seeing which one's worth it and things like that. But let's open this one up, or take this off, and then turn it on as well. So again, you do have the brushed titanium, the action button, the volume rocker, USB-C, speaker grills. You have the new camera control button. I know Apple doesn't want to call it a button, but it is what it is. You have the lock button, and then on top, obviously, you have nothing. The camera bump on the rear, which is a darker black on the actual camera sensors, versus more of a space gray look, definitely on the darker side compared to years past, but I do like this colorway a bunch. But then here you have both the phones in all of their glory. And if you look real closely, you can tell that the bezels on the 16 Pro Max are probably half the size of the bezels on the regular 16, and that's how Apple is able to keep the form factor and the footprint of the Pro Max phone not that much bigger, even though it was increasing about 0.2 inches diagonally. Because normally, if Apple were to keep the same exact bezels compared to the 15 Pro Max, then they would have been a little bit bigger from a footprint standpoint, but here we have 6.9 inches and 6.1 inches respectively, and I kind of like what I see here. But of course, I'm going Pro Max. My wife is going to be getting the 6.1 inch 16 in the ultramarine color. So here you have it, everybody. We have both the phones unboxed and ready to be used. I'm going to set this guy up. I also have the Apple Watch Ultra in the space black version, like I mentioned, or that black titanium. I'm going to set it all up together and kind of play with them this weekend, and then eventually give you guys my overall review, so definitely get subscribed. Like I said, we're going to be comparing both of these phones. We're going to be comparing these phones to their older counterparts, comparing these phones in different environments, full days in the life, and then seeing exactly what all the hype is about, and especially if that camera control button is something that's going to be useful for a lot of people, because I can see it's being useful for a small subset of people, like myself especially, but for most people that camera control button, let's see exactly how that ends up playing out over time. But that'll do it. If you guys do want to watch more videos like this one, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right here. I think you're going to like this video down here. And if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below. And also let me know which iPhone you decided to pick up and which iPhone you're upgrading from. Always curious. But that'll do it, everybody. Until next time, peace.